Hello friends, welcome to TechnoPoints. This video is a part of Kotlin Tutorial Series which we are running, and in this video we will be learning about data types and null safety in Kotlin. So let's get started. So here I am in the IntelliJ IDEA, and here there is just a function main. So let's first have a look at the data types. So data types are similar to other languages in the Kotlin as well. Int, char, float, double, these data types are same, but the way we write them is a little bit different in this. So let's me declare var a equal to 10 here, and if I just hover on this a, then it is showing that var a colon int, that is var a is of integer data type. But here integer data type is written as capital I int, like we write in Java int. It is not recognized here. Well, we have to write it like this: int, char, float, every data type should start with capital letter in Kotlin. So here I can also explicitly declare the data type of this variable colon int in this type. So as it is not needed, it is showing that this is redundant, but we can declare it as this. This is for int data type. Now let's see another type, b equals char. This also starts with capital letter C, and let's assign this value. Okay, it should be colon, and let's assign its value some a. Yeah, this is also possible, and we have to write it as capital C. Just like this, we can also declare f, sorry, let's say C as float, and we can assign it a value as 8.9 L. Sorry, not L, F. Yeah, so this is of type float. Similarly, colon B or D colon double, we can assign it value 69.67, something random, and we can assign this value. This is of double type. So all the data types are here starts with a capital letter, and there is nothing different than this one. This is the only difference in Kotlin. One data type is remaining, that is string. So that is also same. Strng starts with capital S string, and we can assign any value to this, as S is a data type of string. Now next topic is null safety. So what is null safety and how we can achieve null safety in Kotlin, how Kotlin provides us, we will see now. So basically null safety is the feature provided by Kotlin to avoid the null pointer exceptions that are caused mostly due to accessing some property of null variables. So let's declare a class here, one class car, let's say, and this car has some property. Okay, fair color, it is of type string, let's say, and let me initialize it to something here blue. Okay, and I have to declare a object of this car. So here I'll just write var c equals car, it will be capital car. Okay, here double variable, so I'll say just car. Okay, this object is constructed. Now let's say I can, or let's say we'll not initialize this object here, we'll just declare it as it is of type car, car, car. Okay, that is absolutely fine, and we can just access the property here car.color. Here before that we need to initialize that car equals car. So in the later videos we will be seeing about the syntax of how to create the object and classes. So don't worry if you don't create this. So basically new keyword is not needed while creation of object in Kotlin. We can just create object like this one. So here yeah, car is initialized, and we can access the property car.color. But if you assign something, this variable, as null, it won't accept. Like if you assign car as null, then it won't accept. If you hover here, then it will say that null can be of value of non-null type car. So basically it is saying that car is declared as a non-null data type, non-null data type. This object cannot hold null value. So basically in the Kotlin there is a differentiation. One object in the Java or other languages, let's say if you create one object, then by default it can hold null value as well. But in the Kotlin, that's not the case. If you want some object to accept null value as well, you have to make it nullable. How you can make it nullable? You can just put question mark in front of that, and this error will go away. It is now accepting the null data type because it is of type nullable. If you don't do this, it won't allow you to insert null value in your object, and if you do this, it will give you error here. And let me remove this and make it nullable. So here what it will say, car variable car must be initialized. Okay, I'll initialize a car here, car. Okay, I have initialized the car. Now again it is showing an error. What's the problem here now? If I hover here, it is showing that only safe or non-null asserted calls are allowed on a nullable receiver of type car nullable. So basically it is saying that car is a nullable type, and if this variable comes as a null, then and you are accessing the property of a null object, so it is showing here error. And that is the advantage of null safety in Kotlin. So basically you can't access the property which is declared as null. You can't directly access the property of the sub object which can be null. Let's say we have initialized this car, and if you it may be coming from some API. The object may be coming from some API, and in some cases it might be null. In some cases it might not be null. So you have to declare that explicitly as a nullable type to accept it as a null as well. So here it will show the error. But if you know that this object won't be null at all, I know that this object won't be null. So please compiler, don't give me this error. You can say to compiler this that, so you can put assertion operator, that is 2 times exclamatory signs, and the error will go away. By declaring this one, you are saying that, hey compiler, don't give me an error. I know this object won't be null anymore. So the compiler will not come into your way, and it will remove the error whatever is shown here. But if you if you are also doubtful that this object might be null is coming at, and you want this further code to be safely executed, then you have one option. You can just put here question mark, and the error gone. What this question mark means, this question mark is called as a safe call. So here what it will do, if the car object is not null, then only this further call will be executed, otherwise it won't be executed. Here it will check if the car object is null. If it is null, it won't execute the further code, and if it is not null, then it will use the property and uh, let the further code execute. So this is the null safety provided by Kotlin, and it ensures that null pointer exception will not happen very often. This is about objects, but the thing interesting thing comes here as well. Like, these are all primitive data types, but these data types can also be of nullable type. These also can hold a null value, which is very different from other languages in Kotlin. So you can just here click, you can just write int nullable equals to null. So that is perfectly fine with the compiler. It don't have any issues with that, because any primitive data type as well can hold a null value in Kotlin. So this is same for char, float. You can put null value in any data type, any primitive data type as well. And the same thing will apply here as well. If you are trying s dot length to calculate the length of the string, here also it will give you an error. What should I do if the s will be null? So it is giving an error. So you can either put a safe call here or put a assertion here, and you can then execute your further code. So that is about the null safety in Kotlin. There is one more concept. Let's say here you have declare a variable and initialize here as well car, and you are accessing the property here. But what if you don't want to initialize it right now? and you just want to declare that here. And in the code flow, before coming to this statement, somewhere it is going to be initialized. But how the compiler should know? Compiler will throw the error because this variable is not initialized. Variable car must be initialized. Here we are seeing this. The compiler will say that this car object is not initialized and you are trying to access the property of this. So this that is against our rules. So how you can let the compiler know that this, don't worry, this object is going to be initialized at this point of execution, so you don't worry, so you please don't give me error for this one. So you can basically, it is initializing lately. So that's why there is a keyword here as late in it var. Late in it one is a keyword which is used in the combination with var, so that compiler will not give such errors. So here it is the safe call is now not needed. So here it is not giving any error, not any warnings, because compiler knows that this variable this object going to be initialized somewhere, and at this point it will be initialized here, so it won't give error. Late init var is one of the most used keyword in Kotlin language, and uh, you will use this very often when developing Android applications as well. So this can be applied to any object like this one. But as we have already seen that there are two variations of declaring a variable. One is var and one is val. So if you put val here, then it won't work. Late init doesn't work with val, it only works with val, because it doesn't make the sense. Like, late init, you are declaring at late init and you are declaring that variable as a val. So val cannot be reassigned. So how the variable which is cannot be reassigned can be initialized later, and how it can be late init? So that doesn't make sense. That's why it only works with var. That is one of the important point to be noted. And as we have already seen that nullable types were applicable to these primitive types as well. But does this late init var also applicable for primitive data types? Let's see. I'll copy this keyword from here and I'll paste here. It is showing me error. Let me see what is. Okay, let me remove the nullable first. I do the same like we are done for car object. We have just declared that not initialized and late init. So still it is giving me error. If I hover it, it is showing that late init modifier is not allowed on local variables of primitive types. So that means late init only works on other objects other than primitive data types. It doesn't work with primitive data types. You can use nullable data types or declare them or initialize them right away, but you cannot use late init on that. So let me clear that because it is not valid. So these are the things that we have seen in this video. Data types, late init var, how to create nullable object, what is null safety in Kotlin, all the things we have learned in this tutorial. Hope you understood all the things teaching in this tutorial. And if you have a still doubt, then you can put your comment in the box here. I'll try my best to answer. We'll meet in next tutorial in this tutorial series with some other topics. Till then, goodbye, happy coding.